We're at our garage and storage facility. Let's see what we're rolling out today. Looks like we're driving in style again this week, a Lexus RC350 with a nice blue paint job. Pretty sharp looking from the rear as well. There's a wide choice of engines in the RC line, starting with a 2-liter turbo putting out 241 horsepower in an attempt to get better fuel economy. Second choice is a 3.5-liter V6 putting out 260 horsepower hooked to an all-wheel drive system for those who live where it snows or rains and has to drive on slick roads. For those who want the ultimate muscle, there's a 5-liter V8 putting out 467 horsepower called the RCF. We already did a video on that. We'll have a link for that at the end of this video. Just click and watch. But here on the RC350, we get a 3.5-liter V6 putting out 311 horsepower hooked to an 8-speed automatic transmission. It comes with paddle shifters on the steering wheel if you want to choose the gears manually yourself. Here's the clean fuel economy, 2028 to 23. We're going to rack up 500 miles on this rig before I turn it in. Get the real world figures. Pardon my shaky hand. Don't have a tripod anymore. Since we have the price sheet out, here's the beginning fee. Of course, lots of options, extra prices. For items like this. And here's the total fee. The cabin has some positive features. The materials and workmanship, first rate as you would expect on a Lexus. There's decent room in the glove box, but only if you take out this monster-sized owner's book. That's a big one. Considering the design, the trunk space is more than adequate. There is a compact spare tire under the floor. You get a choice of Eco mode, Normal, or Sport. The climate control system is very easy to use, simple buttons, except for adjusting the temperature, this silly finger touch system, which doesn't work better than a knob. Just something to be different. But it works, so we won't complain too much. We get a real clock, something that's probably going to still work when the warranty goes out, unlike other brands that die the day after the warranty goes out. The gauge cluster is well designed, lots of useful information in between the two big dials. That's the good news. The bad news, we get this Toyota Lexus plastic cover system that picks up glare all over the place. Certain angles of the sun at certain times of the day, you can't see anything. Somebody needs to really do something about this. It's very annoying. Here's your control for the infotainment system. Other Lexus models have a swivel stick, but this is one of the Lexus models that has the finger touch pad. It works, but it's very annoying to use. Sitting still, okay, but when you're driving down the freeway at 75 miles per hour, bouncing around, this just doesn't work very well. I wish they'd do away with it. But they didn't. So to do this, you have to use your finger. It takes a bit of practice, you'll get used to it. The rear seats are pretty much useless for anyone who has legs. Groceries and pets only. And the rocker panels under the door are way too wide. This picks up a lot of dirt, rubs on your pants. But hey, it's kind of a sports car, so I guess we can cut some slack here. Alright, first half of the video show and tell is over. Let's go out and do some driving and fuel economy tests. We'll start by taking these fancy looking headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. If you saw the option sheet I showed earlier, these are $1,160 extra. They better work good. I'd say it's dark enough. Let's see how these headlights perform. Look pretty bright. Here we have the brights on the building 100 feet away, plenty of light. Go to low beam, bright enough but extremely low to the ground. Okay for city driving at low speeds. on backcountry roads, you'll need to use the brights, of course, in this case. Here we have the brights on the building 300 feet away, which is hard to see because we have a stolen car on the right and a bunch of trash that's been dumped on the left as of yesterday. But we'll give it a go anyway. As you can see, reaches out pretty good. Low beam, not so far away, but adequate enough. Even though the power steering is electric, it feels hydraulic. Very, very nice. I don't understand why the German manufacturers have such a problem giving us good electric steering. Lexus got it right. They should get this system and copy it. Let's take the turning circle. Lexus recommends 36 pounds of air in the tires, which is what we have. Hugging the road pretty good. With driver and a full tank of gas, the weight on this vehicle is around 2 tons, or 4,000 pounds if you don't know what 2 tons is. Even so, with a V8, you can hit 60 around 4.4 seconds. I've done it. And this V6 is no dog. Just over 6 seconds. More than enough for me. Just put it in the sport mode and go. Strong brakes too. This V6 offers all the power I really need, but if you want to see what it's like to drive the RCF with the big V8, here are some clips from a RCF we tested last year. By comparison, when you hit the throttle on this RCF V8 version, you get a healthier sounding exhaust system and a bit more acceleration with it, of course. Yeah, it sounds better, but you'll pay the price at the gas pump. As we do in all of our videos, we're going to take some mild speed bumps around 20 to 25 miles per hour to evaluate the performance of the suspension on impact. Here comes bump number 1. Firm but smooth. Number 2. Number 3. And the big nasty one. Not bad. I might tell you, if you lower the tire pressures from 36 pounds, as recommended by the factory, down to 32, you get a much smoother ride without affecting handling much, but I'm not supposed to tell you that because Lexus gets upset. They want everything driven to factory specs, both by me and the consumer, so I won't tell you to do that. While the ride of the suspension is basically smooth, these tires make a lot of rumbling noises on nasty pavement. Odd for a car that weighs so much. But again, it's a sports car, so we'll just live with it. We're going to reset the mileage computer to 0, take a little highway trip, see if we can bump up some numbers. We're coming to the end of the line. We'll pull over and see what the fuel economy reading is. Well, we racked up 110 miles, averaging 76 miles per hour. 31.5 mpg. Can't complain about that. We're going to do a quickie fuel economy run. I'm going to keep the speed around 55 to 60 miles per hour with no passing. Get the maximum possible number. Yeah, I know it's not realistic, but we'll do it anyway. Okay, averaging 54 miles per hour, 23 miles, 36.9 mpg. Our goal was to put 500 miles on this vehicle in 1 week. Looks like we succeeded, so time to wrap up this video. So what's my take on the RC350 after a week of driving? Frankly, of all the RC models, I think this one's the more practical of the lot. The asking price is fairly reasonable. The engine has plenty of power, yet good fuel economy, and it looks nice. Here are some links to other Lexus models we've driven. Just click and watch.